Big shout out to all my undergrounders. Thank you for being here. Melissa with the super chat right as we get started. Already 1 super chat towards our goal of 5 super chats. I hope we could hit that tonight. But I don't beg for super chats, right? Just if you want to support your boy, you know how to do it. All right, motivational hero in the house. Thank you for being here. I know there's a bit of a time difference, so I know that it could be a little difficult for you to be here. Thank you very much. Bankroll says he's trading hard. He's got 8 positions. Shout out to Bankroll. There is a link to our Discord in the chat. That's the one you want. There's one in the description as well. Bankroll, or that one guy, has his own tab in our Discord where they do a lot of trading and have a lot of fun. I've talked to him many times. I've gotten to know him. I recommend him. Now, trading is trading. That doesn't mean everything he says is going to hit. Nobody is perfect, or you would be a bot, right? But definitely shout out to Bankroll. Appreciate you being part of the group, and that is something you can look at in our Discord. Chris Goss in the house says 333 Givers Gain, my fellow lifer. Thank you for being here. And we are kicking off the show. We will be with you in just a moment. See you shortly. Here we go. What goes up every Monday through Saturday at 8:30 p.m. New York time? That would be your crypto IQ. Here at Underground Crypto Deep Dive Research Show. Shout out to all my undergrounders in the building. Let's kick this thing off. Make sure I'm on the right page here. Starting with the crypto bubbles, as always. Welcome in, everybody. Let me turn my camera on so you can see me, get myself in the frame. And man, I've got a feeling, guys. Got a feeling that today is going to be a great show. Another one for the record books. Man, do I love what I do here on YouTube. I'm having a ball, even in this bearish downtrend, because regardless of what the prices are doing, regardless of what my portfolio is doing, I have a ton to learn. And I know that the compounding effect of doing this show every day is the same for me as it is for you. We're going to raise our crypto IQs together, and I believe and I hope the goal is to become better speculators in this market by simply understanding how all of it works. Now, we've been talking some real truths here lately about blockchain technology and where the hype comes from, how the cycles start, how they sustain and how they fizzle out, and what really happens in the world of crypto. As we move in to the next phase of cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, whatever you want to call it, I just want to say thank you guys for being here. Trading DOT, File, Venice token, all short. Okay. And it says Silver, Dent, Crow, Zebekin, he's trading long. bankroll with the sauce out here. And that is available to you guys in the Bankroll TA tab in our Discord. So feel free to click that link in the chat and join our Discord. Let's talk about this beautiful visual representation of data that we call crypto bubbles. I like to start here because usually around noon-ish, I've stepped away from my computer, I've set up the stream, and I run a couple other businesses. I've got other stuff to do. So now when I come back and sit down at my computer, crypto bubbles is a really good way for me to kind of dial back into what the market has done since about noon. That's especially on a day that I'm not trading. On a day that I'm trading, I might be, in the charts a little bit more during the day. Anyways, DOT is up 28.6%. Again, this is by market cap, 1 through 100 up here. I will toggle it so it drops down, and you will see 1 through 100, 100 to 200. It goes by hundreds, right? And you will see just kind of the average going on here. Look, 3.9, 3.4, 2.7, 2.2. So anywhere kind of between 2 and 4%. And you'll see the actual biggest percentages are some of these 8 to 900, 9 to 1,000, and it kind of cuts out down to 1,000, right? Just want to make sure everybody kind of understands what the heck we're looking at, because I do this every day, so I come on here and I don't always explain what the heck we're doing here, right? So Near up 16.8%, Filecoin up 14%. I own a little bit of Filecoin from way back in the day. It's at $1.10. I'm definitely still underwater on that purchase. I think I bought most of mine around like $2.50, which at the time seemed like a good price for it. Welcome to crypto, right? Uni up 14.1%, Aptos 14.5%. Let me know how the volume is on the music. Let me know how the volume is on the microphone. Is it cutting in and out? What is it doing? Keep getting so many spam calls today. It's kind of crazy. Stablecoin 12.2% up. So I do apologize if my phone goes off. It should be on silent, but it could go off. Power Protocol 30.9%. Power Protocol just continuing to do some numbers here. It's made it all the way up to $1 from 66 cents today, and it pumped from, I think, I want to say under 10 cents. What did it do yesterday? Here's on the weekly. Yeah, it had this big pump from like 39 cents up to about 76 cents. Okay, that's pretty cool. All right. Plasma XPL up 13.3%. That's all about them stable coins. Now, Seeker was a big pumper yesterday, so to see a little 10.8% pullback right now, not the biggest deal. It pumped harder than that. Gala Games, Syrup, Humanity, another one that's down today, 9.4%. Pretty sure it was pumping yesterday. So we're just seeing the rotation here through crypto. Now, as we drop down into 2 to 300s, you will see Comedian is down 13.4%. Zano is down 40.5%. And Espresso has been pumping real hard lately, right? It's still up 70% on the weekly. Looks like it's been as high today as 17.5 cents. And now it's at about 15 cents flat. Espresso, think modular blockchain. We've talked a lot about it. Very new and cutting edge. Recently did their token generation event and put out a token, and so that's why you're seeing price action here. Can't see a chart without a token, right? Rave Protocol has been up and down and up, right? So it's up 14.3%. It bounced from about 23 cents to 29 cents, but if you look overall on the monthly, had this big bounce from 37 cents to 68 cents and then just absolutely plummeted from there all the way down to about 24 cents. And it's just kind of getting a bounce off the floor there. Of course, many other tokens that are in about the same place, somewhere between like 2 and 6 and 7%. Grass on the radar, 7.7% bump. All right, so this should be giving you guys a little bit of an idea what's going on at the current day in crypto. All right, Campsta in the house, Blues Guy in the house. What's up? What's up? Chris Goss says, very difficult not taking profits today. So glad I opened a short to hedge. Very interesting. I haven't been trading the last couple of days, been super busy making money other places, and I didn't want to totally tie up all my time. Plus, I took that little loss back a while ago, and I knew I just needed to step away for a while. I was getting a little bit too addicted to being in the charts. Sometimes you need that reset. All right, $68,510 for Bitcoin, up 3.1% in the last 7 days, up 4.1% in the last 24 hours. And if you look over my head, you'll see these squiggly lines. They're green today. That's just a little 7-day chart, right? So you can see this inverted head and shoulder. and I won't be able to draw it. Yeah, I won't be able to draw it for you guys. Let's get off the max chart for BTC, right? Let's go to like the monthly, and you'll see down here shoulder, head, shoulder, and a bounce. For anybody who thinks patterns don't play out, I know that the lifer was talking about this inverted head and shoulder. And what did you bounce up to? 69,000? It's a pretty good bounce. Hopefully we can continue from there. Looks kind of like a double bottom from way back here at 60. What was this bottom here? 62,822. And over here we were at 62,972. So very double bottom-ish there. All right, let's move on. BTC, most people know the chart on BTC. I think it's what most people look at, right? Ethereum moving back up over $2,063 to be exact. On the 7-day, it is up 5.5%. XRP, $1.43, up 1% over the last 7 days with a nice 3.3% bounce just today in the last 24 hours. BNB back up over $600, $629.50, up 4.5% in the last 7 days. Solana, $88.70, up 8.8% in the last 7 days. Dogecoin back to a healthy 10 cents, up 2.5% on the 7-day, but up 7.3% in the last 24 hours. Cardano, 29 cents, up 9.3% in the last 7 days. So you're seeing a lot of decent green percentages on the last 7 days, right? Because we've been beat down pretty hard. Hyperliquid, $28.33, still down 1.1% in the last 7 days. Chainlink, $9.23. Canton Network, 17 cents. Monero, $346, a far cry from, I think Monero went to what, like $800 at one point? Or was that Zcash? I think it was Monero. But it's up 4.8% in the last 7 days. XLM, 16 cents. HBAR, 10 cents. Zcash, $250. Avalanche, $9.54. SWI, 96 cents. Still under $1. Still on sale if you ask me. And let's go see where that Flare token is. 74 today. So it's been 75, 76, 74 now. And it is moving up the ranks. Don't sleep on the Flare. Shout out to Blues Guy, the king here of Flare in our community. That's for sure. All right, let's pop over to see what is trending. And as you know, I'm going to tell you guys a little story to set the foundation of what we're going to be raising our crypto IQ about today, but know that the series has been about value. And it was really interesting that somebody came in off of the title of the stream on the first day of the series, Monday, and was very much asking, why does crypto have value? And we did our best, not just me, but as a community, to explain to him why that was. He did subscribe, so I think that we kind of did a great job of handling that situation, but I haven't seen him back yet, so I look forward to seeing him back. Hopefully he does. You know how people are. Sometimes they got to see it several times before they really come back to raise that crypto IQ. Remember, education is a choice. You know, you're not going to force people into educating themselves. This channel is all about raising your crypto IQ and education around crypto, as much as it's about having fun with the DeFi games and staying up to date on what's trending and coins coming out before or right as they token generate, all of that fun stuff. But education is a choice, and some people just kind of tune out. Understand that educating yourself and growing is very much a sign of somebody who's confident in themselves and believes in themselves. And a lot of people tune out when it comes to the education because somewhere deep down something's gone wrong and they don't believe that they can learn, that they can do things, that they're ever going to make it. They believe they try, but they always fail. Little scenarios like that play in our head really keep us from locking in and raising that crypto IQ, or really IQ across the board, right? Very difficult not taking profits. Okay, I already read that. Oh yeah, I remember when it was plus 100. Very slow but surely. Thank you for the shout out, bro, my man. Hey, you're welcome. Absolutely welcome. Shout out to Blues Guy. Thanks for being here. All right, let's talk about what's trending, right? Now, the first thing I have to say is Pudgy Penguins is like always trending. So if you see Pudgy Penguins, this is my own personal opinion, get a really nice pullback. I mean, it's probably already done the best pullback we're going to get if we're going to go trend into more of a bear or a bull trend now for a while. We'll see. But if we just bounce here for a couple of days and then we go lower for BTC and a lot of these projects go lower, Pudgy Penguin's looking like one of those coins you might want to scoop up, right? Because it is trending every single day. They have in-store products. There's a while ago, right? There was a change of guard, if you will. They kicked the person who was running it out somehow. I don't exactly know how they did that, or maybe he sold it to somebody else. But anyway, there was new ownership, and they seemed to put a good team together and be fired up and really doing stuff with Pudgy Penguins. So my eye is on Pudgy Penguins for a good entry price. Now, ETH gas, or GUI, if you're familiar with Ethereum at all, that should be familiar to you, but this is its own project, right? This is not just the gas fee on Ethereum, right? This is an actual project named ETH gas, and we'll get into that in a minute. We will click on these, but first we just kind of go over what's trending. Polkadot, crazy to see Polkadot trending. It's at $1.65. I'm not really a big fan of Polkadot. I haven't seen Polkadot really put out any advancement in tech. Some of that could be the fact that I don't really use the Polkadot ecosystem, nor really like the people behind Polkadot personally for ethical reasons. And also, I haven't really seen much news around them or any kind of, new advancements, right? Them integrating zero knowledge, anything, stuff like that, homomorphic encryption. Like, I haven't seen them, Polkadot, X402 protocol. Like, I haven't seen anything cool out of Polkadot in a while, although I'm sure they're still building in some form or fashion. Uniswap, okay, that's a DEX on Ethereum. Sui, it's its own layer one. I like Sui. I like where it's at about $1. If it goes a little lower, like if I see this thing at 75 cents, I might have to scoop up another bag. I really should go look at what my average buy price for Sui is, where I bought it. Yeah, education can be forced. If you've seen the movie Clockwork Orange, I haven't. I've seen like no movies, guys. I am not a movie person, but that's okay. If you are, no shade. Pi Network, Hyperliquid, BitTensor, Ethereum, AI Rig Complex back on the radar, so we'll check on that. It's nice to see a little bit of some different things in here than normal. BNB, Aztec is one that we talked about a lot. We talked about this project before it ever launched a token. We talked about it as a launched a token. Then it kind of disappeared on us for a little bit and wasn't trending, and now the last week or so it's been back to trending and looking pretty healthy, so we'll touch on that. Plasma, a lot of people seem to like Plasma. It does have its own smart contract capabilities and stuff. I was seeing meme coins. When Plasma came out, it was hot. I was seeing people launch meme coins on it and all kinds of projects and stuff. And then it kind of took a back seat to the market and other things. Remember, it's an attention economy, guys. It's a big part of crypto, and it moves as fast as attention moves. And social media and across whatever media outlet, news outlet, whatever, attention moves very fast, right? And Plasma is hot. It's coming back. It's trending again. It is very much about stablecoin and stablecoin rails. So I am a little bit unsure about how I feel about Plasma, say 3 years from now, 4 years from now, relevance, right? They need to keep building. And then, of course, last but not least here, Caspa. I own a small bag of Caspa. I'm sure it's down from where I bought it. It's at 3 cents. You know what an ERC20, right? A token on Ethereum. KRC20s was supposed to be this whole launch. They had meme coins. They had all these things, smart contracts coming to Caspa. And I really just don't know what went wrong. I don't know if they, it was buy the rumor, sell the news, and then they came out with it, and then nobody really cared to use it. I don't know what the problem was, but it did not, shoot Caspa up into the upper ranks of crypto like everybody really thought it would. Is Caspa a good buy right now? Now, Caspa is, as far as I understand, proof of work, mineable like Bitcoin. So, and there's a lot of people, kind of like how you have your really locked in XRP people, and most of them are only XRP and XLM people, right? They are really bought into a narrative that's pushed by a lot of influencer. I feel Caspa's community can be like that a lot, although they are generally a little bit more interested in more crypto projects than just Caspa, but Caspa's community is pretty hardcore. All right, so let's start with ETH gas here. The Clockwork Orange reference is cracking me up. Yeah, see, and I don't even get it. It must be a movie reference or something like that. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not a movie reference. All right, let's talk about ETH gas here. January 20th, 2026, token generation event as far as CoinGecko. Again, don't be confused by when the coin came out and whenever the project started being a project, right? That happens much, much further before the token generation event. But we really do measure price action by when the token generates, because without the token, there's no price action. That seems like I shouldn't have to explain that, right? Anyways, January 20th, 2026 for GUE is the ticker, ETH gas, 51.7 million market cap, pretty respectable market cap, right? And 10 billion max supply, only 1.7 circulating supply. So there's still a lot of tokens to come out, but with a new project, it's not really that crazy to have a low circulating supply because they haven't been around that long. And I don't know what the vesting schedule is. Vesting schedule refers to on what schedule they're going to put out more tokens. Contract address, Ethereum contract, BNB Smart Chain. So BNB and Ethereum, let's go to the categories, derivatives, and DeFi. Of course, the Binance Alpha Spotlight. Let's go to the website, take a look. It says real-time Ethereum gasless future. So they're building on Ethereum with, of course, hopes for real-time Ethereum. Okay, so we talk about finality. What is finality? You know, click on something, it opens your MetaMask, it opens your wallet, you approve it, and then that goes through the system. It gets validated by the validator. Of course, first it goes into a mempool, and then it sits, and then it gets picked up by a validator. All of the steps that it goes to till it gets to the point where it is minted on chain, right? The ledger for whatever blockchain is updated, and your transaction is in there, making it final. Okay, you know, code is law. Real-time Ethereum is just saying that they're going to make it happen so fast it's going to feel like it's just real-time, right? Like it's instant. And then the gasless future is a really interesting thing because, of course, gas fees on Ethereum have been an issue for a long time, gave rise to things like Arbitrum and Polygon, used to be Matic, right? Pol. And so Layer 2s came in to solve that solution. Now it looks like they're trying to integrate some more. 3.7 milliseconds, I don't know why it's changing. So it's updating in real time. Transaction confirmation times, very fast. I mean, in milliseconds, even if this thing said like, 10 milliseconds, it wouldn't matter. That's very quick. A real-time Ethereum and gasless future for all. Now, remember, if this is real and they're actually doing a good job at this is important. Both for infrastructure, but also maybe for speculation, because everything of any big value is pretty much over on Ethereum network, right? Most developers still develop on Ethereum code, and it works really well with the EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine, because that code can be implemented in a lot of places and a lot of other chains. You can literally just take your project and put it on another chain without necessarily having to recode it or do all this other stuff. And that is kind of the power of developing on Ethereum first, as far as I understand. So our mission at ETH Gas is to advance Ethereum to a real-time network and eliminate gas fees to unlock institutional adoption and onboard the next billion on-chain users. Now, the first thing that comes to my mind here is that the gas fees on Ethereum is a big part of its security. Now, it is proof of stake, right? They moved from proof of work to proof of stake for Ethereum, and therefore staking and that liquidity is very much what is securing the network, hence the term restaking, which I'm not going to explain at this time, but if you want me to, just say so in the chat and I'll explain what restaking is. And then they have some initiatives, real-time blocks, block space marketplace, open gas. I could get into some IQ raising stuff about block space and how it's a marketplace and how people compete for the space, and they start basically like an auction or a bidding war for the ability to get in the spaces and get your stuff minted quickly. With a real-time blockchain, man, that must happen really fast, right? It must be people automating that they're willing to pay a certain amount in advance so that it can instantly be final or finality, right? Here's their community, and I think we spent a good amount of time on this. ETH Gas Foundation governing real-time Ethereum. I wish them much luck. I would love to see, and now the gas fees in general on Ethereum have come down, both for not as many people using it with this bear trend, right? But also some of the new things that they've done. The most recent update they did for Ethereum was really setting the pace for the next update that comes after it that should be a little bit more monumental. But of course, like people say, updating Ethereum is like trying to change the engine in an airplane while it's flying in the sky to a destination, right? Like, you got to be very cautious because people are using it, and you don't want any downtime in a blockchain or a network. Look at any project that for one reason or another went down, right? And was down for any amount of time, or it was in and out, up and down for a certain period of time. It just really shakes people's confidence in the project because you don't know what went wrong. How long is it going to take them to fix it? How often is this going to happen again? Is this a new thing where we're going to see this go down all the time? I remember around when the Seeker phone came out for Solana, Solana had some problems going down, and there were all kinds of conspiracy theories about why it was going down and all this stuff. It was the end of it, whatever. But we haven't really seen Solana go down like it did in that period of time for a while. I think it was 2-3 times it went down. All right, we're really covering stuff that we don't know what it is. So I'm not going to talk about BitTensor or Sui or Pi Network, but AI Rig Complex, what is that? Now, the name really infers, right? The ticker is ARC, but the name kind of infers what it is, but let's do a little bit more of a deep dive than that. They forced them to learn literally. Okay, well, that sounds like some heck of technology there, but I don't think I would ever want to validate anybody's sovereignty. All right, let's go. February 26, 2025, 47.3 million in market cap. Little bit less than 1 billion tokens in max supply. It is fully vested here, almost perfectly. There's a few handful of coins that haven't come out, but not enough, I don't think, to really make a big difference. If all the coins suddenly came out today, you probably wouldn't even notice in price action, right? So let's go ahead and jump into like the last 7 days here, because this thing took a tumble. Just because it's trending doesn't always mean it's trending for a good reason, right? This thing looks like it absolutely dropped off here. Since February 25th, 2026. That can't be right. Okay, yeah, actually it is right. I'm thinking 2025, that's why. All right, and yeah, it took a tumble from 12 cents to where it is now at high 4 cents, almost 5 cents. And it just went straight down. Let's go to the last 24 hours. Yeah, this has mostly been within the last 24 hours. You did have looks like a nice bump here. Wow. All right, well, what is going on for this project? I don't know. It is a pump.fund contract on Solana. AI, artificial intelligence infrastructure, AI agents, pump.fund ecosystem, AI agent launchpad, AI framework, AI, everything AI on a platter. Let's go to their website. Now, there are so many projects in AI and blockchain right now that you really do have to think. There's a learning curve when it comes to all of this, and I don't claim to be, a master at AI or anything like that. I'm not a developer or a coder, but I do want to say that because AI is so kind of over most people's heads, it's really easy. And I'm not talking about this project specifically, but some of the projects that have come and gone, I'm pretty sure they were scams, right? And it's easy to throw up a bunch of jargon about AI agents and AI and then never really build anything and run off with people's money. Okay, we take the red pill, then the blue pill. Okay. So enter the complex. Let's do that. That really just pulls me down here. Solana, Send AI, External AI, Hyperbolic, Shuttle Dev, Arbitrum. So it's involved with Arbitrum, it looks like. Abstract. Let's just go to Explorer, right? So discover the core components of our ecosystem and how they work together to power innovative AI applications and systemic software. Dive into the details of each module to explore its purpose, functionality, and integration within the ARC framework. Nice. So, Rig Framework, the foundational Rust-based system for building and orchestrating power. Okay, so it's Rust-based. I think the more techie people would know what that is. ARC Complex, got the ARC token, AI and blockchain ecosystems, continuous innovative loops, so they're always, making it better. The cyclical engine of experiments, meme tick adoption, and community-driven enhancement. I don't really know what else to say about this, right? Join our handshake program to collaborate, build AI use case, or explore more about our ecosystem. This gets really techie really fast, right? So know that it's AI infrastructure. I'm just going to say it once again. Now, I know Bankroll a lot of times will disagree with me on this, and I totally understand where he's coming from. Apparently, you have a lot of IP rights and stuff like that. You can make a lot more money launching over on Pump.Fun. I understand that. But for me, if I'm talking a serious tech project, I associate Pump.Fun with meme coins and people making their own coins and potential rug pulls. And not that all of them are rug pulls, but there's always the potential for a rug pull because anybody can make a coin over there. And so when I see Pump.Fun, that's not what I want to see in a contract address from somebody who's presenting to me that they are a serious tech. You know, they're seriously building AI for the future, right? I don't want to see a Pump.Fun address. It just puts a bad taste in my mouth. But maybe that's just me, right? Maybe that's not everybody. So Aztec is a pretty cool project. Think privacy, think transparency, think having privacy where you want it, right? And transparency everywhere else, and keeping up with the ethos of blockchain. That's Aztec for you. 79.9 million in market cap, 10.3 billion max supply, only 2.9 out in circulation. 24-hour trading volume, 92.8 million. All right, we have an Ethereum contract, so I would consider it an Ethereum native token because I don't see any other things here. Smart contract platform, it says, but it's a layer 2, right? A lot of times when you see smart contract platform, you think layer 1, but it says it's a layer 2 and a privacy blockchain CoinList launch pad. Let's hop over to their website. Now, I've gone over the website many times, and one thing that I like is they outline what the problem is. Enforcing transparency is holding blockchain back. So enforced or absolutely must have transparency without any question, right? Very black and white. Without end-to-end privacy, real-world assets and players will never fully come on-chain, right? So there's a lot of people who will never come over and use it because of that. Today, privacy is pretend. Now, they're really poking at some of the privacy stuff that we already have. Centralized sequencers, backdoors, and teas will never meet our bar. We don't need an add-on. We need real end-to-end systems, right? So they're saying a lot of the stuff we have in the world of privacy is not as private as you think it is, or decentralized for that matter. It needs to be flexible though, right? It doesn't have to be so black and white, one or the other. So privacy can't be an all or nothing. Builders need to be able to program privacy at different layers, and that makes sense for their project. So they're saying privacy where it needs to be, transparency everywhere else. So we kind of get the best of both worlds. And it needs to be practical, right? Privacy has to make sense for developers. It's got to be easy to code, fast to execute, and affordable to scale. Look how we always come back to scale. I keep pushing this for the raising of crypto IQ out here, because what are the problems that people who are trying to build crypto? All right, and I'm just going to take a half a second here to kind of talk to you a little bit. If we believe in crypto, right? Now, a lot of people come into the space for number go up, right? Very primitive kind of idea, but there is more to crypto than just hoping that the number goes up. And even if you do come into crypto and you hope that the number will go up, why do you think it's a good investment, and why do you think the number will go up? And my point is, if we want to see that happen, we're going to need evolution and integration in the space, right? So we're really going to need them to be able to scale, because if we want adoption and we want people to come in, they've got to be able to scale these projects to keep up with the load of the network. I say that because as a speculator in the market, things that truly work at fixing both privacy and scaling right now seem to be what is heavily sought after by the big players who are building. Developers, of course, but developers a lot of times work for foundations and work for projects and stuff. Those people who are choosing to spend the money to integrate or have partnerships with certain projects are doing so because they're solving problems. Remember, everything is about solving problems, both for a company that's a new startup, but also within the company, they also have problems they have to solve. And if another company, new startup, is able to integrate with them and solve a big problem for them, money is going to flow to that project. Now, That sounds really good on the surface, but the thing that I've come to realize after doing this show for about 5 to 6 months is that money flowing into a project's treasury, it's not the same as money flowing into that asset's market cap. They're not the same thing. A lot of these companies have a bank account or some form of bank account in some way, even if it's decentralized, right? And when they make a sale or they do something for another company, they invoice them and they pay them, that money is not going directly into the market cap. So just because a product is very useful and sought after inside the world of crypto or elsewhere doesn't mean that the coin is going to go up. That's why you need strong community, strong marketing to bring retail in, and then you need a strong use case to bring in institutional inflow. But when they make money, unless they have buyback features or some kind of form of burns or something, it doesn't mean the price is going to go up, right? Tech does not always mean price go up. So let's talk about the Fear and Greed Index, right? Fear and Greed Index is at 11. It was at 11 yesterday. 7 days ago it was at 9, and a month ago we were at 29, right? So if we come down and kind of bottomed out as far as the Fear and Greed Index goes, and can we at least get back to neutral, right? That would be really nice. 29, of course, is almost is actually in the fear, right? I don't know why they're showing it as yellow, but I guess maybe it's neutral. It shouldn't be in yellow until it's 50, so why is it showing the color? Anyways, it doesn't really matter. All right, I learned today that XLM has a security lock, meaning they can lock your tokens, not XRP. Okay, yeah, that's the type of stuff that's good to know, right? Just check one preview, you'll know. Okay, Blues Guy, I'll do that. Underground, did you buy a new shirt collection? I seen you with different shirts, looking sharp, man. Thank you, I appreciate that. I got this shirt probably like a month ago or so. I've been wearing it here or there. Finding shirts that work well with the stream, just a little side note, very difficult because they can't be too busy, they can't be too green for sure, or I'd be invisible. Like they can't have like a random whatever, a bird on it that's orange. Well, that'll turn into green screen type stuff as well. Like you almost have to like take every shirt and put it in front of the camera to know how it's going to look. If it's too busy, it'll kind of spaz out the camera, right? It is always trying to focus and it can't. Very something you don't really think about unless you're actually live streaming. A lot of people think about YouTube. They yell at the screen. They get mad at the YouTubers out here for whatever reason. Could be crypto, could be whatever. And a lot of those people have no idea the amount of effort and work and things that you have to think about in order to do YouTube, right? It's not as simple as sit in front of a camera and hit a button. Now, some people do that and they might, maybe they look bummy and they don't get a lot of views. I don't know. I don't know if looking sharp necessarily correlates directly to viewership. Let's make this 20 and not 10, and I'll stop rambling. I do want to tell you guys a short story about cryptocurrency to kind of set the bar for what we're going to be going over tonight. Again, shout out to everybody here. There's a link to the Discord in our chat, also in the description, but use the one in the chat. I know it to be the most up to date. And come on over and hang out with us when we're not live streaming. Also, what else do I want to say? What other announcements do I have? I don't know if I really have a ton of announcements other than I'm really having a lot of fun doing some airdrop stuff. So if you like some airdrop stuff, definitely hang around. And we have that information as well in our Discord. Green shirt would be awesome. Actually, just floating dreads talking about crypto would be hilarious. It's true, Chris. Maybe one day we'll have to do that. It would be pretty funny. Maybe I'll do it at the beginning of the stream or something, and then I'll have like another shirt ready, and I'll just change it real quick at some point. And I was talking about announcements. Do I really have a bunch of announcements? I guess not. Just been grinding daily. Before I read this, it's going to just take a minute. Because remember, we're all human, right? We're real. The whole point of this show is not for me to sit up here and say, look how smart I am. I know everything about crypto. I want to teach you. Yada, yada, yada. I've been putting in some work for a while now, researching a lot about crypto. So I think I know a thing or two, right? I can sit up here and talk for hours. But I really take more of the approaches. We're a crypto family, a community. We're learning together. I don't know everything. The minute you know everything, you can no longer learn anything else, right? Because your ego gets in the way, and I do never want to go there, right? So I'm saying that because I just want everybody to take a deep breath. and relax and enjoy the show. Raise your crypto IQ. It doesn't have to be a stressful thing. And I really hope everybody out there is enjoying their time, because as Lifer says all the time, and I don't say it the way he does because I don't want to copycat him, right? I'm my own person. I'm not here to just copy him and try to, make myself successful off of him. But the most valuable asset in life really is your time, because it's the one thing you can't get more of. You can get more money. All right, you can lose money, you can make money, you can get more money, but you can't get more time back. So if you're here spending your time with me, I really appreciate that. I want you guys to know that. I genuinely appreciate you. All right, now we're going to get into the story. Underground knows a thing, or 100 in crypto. Thanks for saying that, Blues Guy. Yeah, you spend enough time in the space doing this type of deep diving, you will learn a few things. Now, let's have a short story about how crypto designs value, right? Value is not sporadic. Value is not random, although it can feel chaotic in the crypto space, but there is a design behind it. And that's what we're trying to nail down. That's what we're trying to dig into here. All right, we're caught up on the chat. Let's move on. So imagine building a system with no central authority, right? So you're trying to build a system, you're trying to build a company, and a big ethos or a big part of it is you're going to have no centralized authority. Well, it sounds wonderful, but how would it work? So no manager assigned roles, no company hire participants, no institutional enforces behavior, yet the system must still operate, secure itself, and grow. I think that a lot of people do not give things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a lot of the decentralized things. Now, you can argue about how decentralized, whatever. I'm not going to get into that. But on some level, they're more decentralized than the centralized systems that we've known for pretty much all of time, right? It's an experiment, right, in humanity to have a decentralized, even if it's not 100% decentralized, even if it's just more decentralized. But I don't think you give enough credit for the idea in the execution of what crypto has actually done. I think a lot of people have heard it, but it doesn't really sink in. So I hope this helps. Crypto solves this problem with incentives. So instead of commands, it offers rewards. Participants join not only because they're told to, but because the system aligns with their interests with its survival. It aligns the interest of the project with its survival. So validators secure networks because tokens reward them. Liquidity providers support the market because incentive compensates them. Developers build because ecosystems allocate value to contributors. Participation emerges from design. Early in a network's life, incentives are often strong, right? Tokens are distributed to attract attention and bootstrapped activity. Liquidity forms, usage begins, the system gains visibility. But incentives alone cannot sustain value. If participation remains only for rewards, behavior collapses once emissions decline. The system loses engagement because it never created intrinsic demand or intrinsic value. This is where design becomes decisive. So what are we really saying here? All right, what we're saying is a new project comes out in a space like crypto, right? Very short attention span, everybody trying to make money and become a millionaire overnight by clicking a couple of buttons. I mean, for your real degens and people who come into the space and haven't put the time in, they're not looking for a 10-year plan to make some money. They're trying to buy a meme coin and be a millionaire in like 6 months, like their buddy hyped them up on, or a YouTube video they saw hyped them up on, a group on Telegram hyped them up on. And that's really where their mind's at, right? So a new project comes out and it says, hey, nobody knows who we are. We have to give people a reason to come and use our product, to be a part of our community, to be a part of a network. So they put the carrot on a stick out in front of everybody. Come over here, we're going to give you super high yield, right? We're going to give you 35, 40, 100, 200. I've seen 2,000% yield on like gaming projects and stuff back in the DeFi, the day of DeFi summer, right? Or the time of DeFi summer gaming and stuff like that. Anyways, it didn't last. Can't give away that much value on a regular basis to people who are literally not doing much but clicking buttons. So at some point, as they offer incentive, they got to get people hooked on the project or a use case that really works and has demand and slowly pull back on the rewards to the point where you are, instead of being rewarded for using the system, you're actually choosing to pay to use the system, right? They might still keep the fees low and whatnot to not, gouge you, but they need to recuperate a lot of the value that they've already given out. This is in the business model, right? And where a lot of projects die, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand, is when they do that shift from high incentive, high reward to keep you engaged to, okay, well, if we think we have a good product, you've been here using it, we've given you a lot of rewards, we hope we've earned your trust, or we hope we've earned your long-term commitment here. Now would you pay us a couple of pennies per transaction, or whatever it is for whatever product or service that they have going on? And if that goes well, a project has great sustainability into the future. If that goes terrible and people are like, you know what, I'm really only here for the incentive, I'm only here to collect the reward, and if you take the reward away, I'm going to go somewhere else because there's another new project and another new project and another new project, right, that is offering incentive. Well, that is where a lot of these projects fall apart. And I just wanted to take a minute to really go over that, to make a strong case there for why incentive works well in the beginning and is almost necessary in the beginning to get people to even care about you. But if you let it go on too long, it can drain you. And if you don't really have anything of value, right, you're just throwing money at people, the minute you stop, they're gone. They're on to the next thing. So strong token systems create loops where participation improves the network itself. Usage increases utility. Utility increases demand. Demand supports value. Value attracts new participants. The network begins reinforcing itself. Weak systems create the opposite. Participants extract rewards without contributing lasting value. Capital cycles through incentives rather than staying. Inflation erodes demand, and the system shrinks once the rewards fade. Basically what I was just talking about. Crypto's value is not just discovered, it's structured through incentives that shape behavior over time. All right, and we'll set ourselves up for these talking points. That was the story, sets the foundation. Talking points, we go at it in a different direction and really try to raise your crypto IQ now that we've set the foundation for doing so. But we're not going to do it all in one go because I don't want to strain you guys too hard. So you can take your thinking cap, take it off, set it down for a minute, and we'll get back to that in just a moment. Time living in the moment now. Yep, the only safe place to earn yield, Flare, baby. Nice. Gotta advocate for that Flare. Nothing wrong with that. All right. This is what is trending over on CryptoRank. INSO. We've talked about INSO quite a bit. Let's pull it up. So it is your shortcut for launching things on chain. Now, again, if you're not a developer who's trying to build anything on chain, or somebody who's trying to get developers to do something on chain, well, then INSO's probably not that exciting to you, and that is totally understandable. INSO is a blockchain shortcut, your way to build and launch on chain. And there's really not a whole lot to say, right? We can sit here and just kind of regurgitate the same information over and over in different ways, but I don't really think that that's valuable to anybody. Let's go to the weekly. Let's see what this coin token generated. Veru is a cup and handling. We'll find out. 13th of October 2025. Market cap right now 37.9 million. Only been as high as 80.5 million. I was gonna say 85. It's getting me all mixed up here. All-time high market cap of 80.5 million. 24-hour trading volume is 417 million. So what exactly is going on? Is it just because it's a new token, it's getting attention for a bunch of trading volume? The difference between market cap and all-time high, not that bad. It's only down like 50%. And again, it has been around since the 13th of October 2025, so that's a good amount of time. It's looking like it is really coming back to where it started. If we can get a line here. Don't always love these TradingView plugins for several different reasons. So all-time high up here at about $4.12, and your local all-time high at about $3.14. So about another $1 to go, right? And you'll be back to where you were. Is it making a cup with a handle, or is it going to make something more like a double bottom? You get the double bottom, And then if you do it again, you have an inverted head and shoulder, right? You see how these things make out. You see how the lifers methods really work when it comes to projecting. So you can follow price action and see how you feel about that. All right, we're going to move on from INSO because INSO is what it is. I'm not super bullish on it. It could do well. It is a new project. There's a lot of trading volume there. And let's talk about Allura. Okay, Allura is about abstraction. What the heck is abstraction? I always make this point, so it's going to sound a little repetitive, but Allura is a self-improving decentralized AI network. Let's go to the website. The abstraction layer for intelligence. AI, being synonymous with intelligence. Allura is a self-improving decentralized AI network that harnesses community-built machine learning models for high accurate, context-aware predictions. So, what is abstraction? Well, if we want to onboard, if we want adoption to be here, crypto's got to be easier to use. Seed phrases, long wallet addresses, one mistake and you lose your money. Traditionally that's how it's been. Sometimes some chains have the ability to walk stuff back if you send it to the wrong place, but most people know crypto for that kind of cutthroatness. If you mess it up, you lose your money. You send Ethereum to Bitcoin, and it's not a wrapped asset or something, right? It's not done correctly. You just send it to a Bitcoin address, some Ethereum it's gone. It's burnt. It's done. And so abstraction is really about taking the complexity away from the user and putting it in the back end to the point where you use blockchain technology and apps on your phone or wherever on your computer, and you won't even know that you're using blockchain. That's how good the abstraction needs to be to really onboard the next wave of, a billion users or something like that. I actually have to get some sleep, y'all. Work beat me up today, and I'm back in tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow night. Sorry. Don't be sorry. If you're tired, get some rest. Thank you for everything that you do, Melissa. Thank you for the super chat. Get some rest. There'll be another show tomorrow. No worries. And again, I appreciate you always being here. That level of commitment is not something you can buy from people. That is something that you just get lucky and blessed with people sometimes. So thank you, Melissa. The 10th of November, 2025 for Allura. So it's back there a little bit. Now, the market cap is only 24 million, all-time high 170 million, basically 169.8. Can we call it 170 million? And the 24-hour trading volume is only 50.6 million. So I don't really love, not the tokenomics per se, but just what's going on currently between all-time high market cap and 24-hour trading volume. And we'll move on from there. I just love to point out abstraction, key phrases, key terms, language, and terminology here in crypto, because I think that is a big part of raising your crypto IQ. If NW was here, he would say he had mined some of the airdrop for Superform, and it was pretty dismal. I think he said he only made like $300 for like a year of farming it. So that's interesting. Superform is an omni-chain yield market. They do, if you go to their website, we'll go straight to the Web3 app. They have these super vaults. I've seen, these super vault terms before with many other things. Whether they call it staking, super vaults, whatever. At the end of the day, you're supplying liquidity, and they're giving you a reward for the liquidity that you're supplying, right? This is not rocket science, right? It's not even new economics, right? So there you go. You're almost like a lender in a big way. Espresso. Now, we touched on Espresso, I'm pretty sure, but we're going to touch on it again. Maybe I skipped it on the other page. Espresso systems emerge as an Ethereum virtual machine compatible blockchain offering scaling and privacy solutions for Web3 applications. Now, I'm really going to attempt to drive this home, right? Why would a new project come out and be solely focused on scaling and privacy solutions for Web3 applications? Reverse engineer it. Web3 applications must have a need for privacy solutions and scaling. That must be a pain point. If you don't know what a pain point is, you probably haven't sat through many, business talks or meetings or anything like that. Usually you come into a business meeting and they say, these are our pain points. How do we solve them? Now, privacy and scaling, just keep that in your mind, specifically for Web3 applications, which are pretty much anything built on blockchain, right? So we need multiple good, reputable, and good solution-orientated companies to come out around this and help us scale, help us build abstraction UX for the users so that it's easy, it can scale without getting all clogged up and messed up, because that hurts a user's experience. The front end of something might work really well and be very smooth, but then when I go to swap something, I'm constantly getting an error. I'm constantly not able to do it. There's a problem and I don't know what it is because I'm new to crypto and I don't know anything about crypto, and I just want to swap this token for this meme coin that I saw somebody posting about on Twitter or something, and it's not working. That's another thing. So there's both scaling and then there's the privacy of MEV attacks and stuff, and that's a little bit more complicated. We won't go there right this second. Maximal extractable value. Do you know what that means? So the market cap, 78.2 million. The all-time high market cap, 111.5 million. Not the worst disparity. 113.7 million 24-hour trading volume. Not bad, and I have to say the chart looks pretty good. It's very up and to the right. I mean, you can see it kind of has a bottom here of 0.027, right? So a very high 2 cents was the bottom there. And that was the 12th of February, 2026, right? So it wasn't that long ago. And you kind of flag these things out here, just giving a general reference, because I'm not doing that great of a job. I hate that you don't have the back arrow on these TradingView plugins. I have to manually click every one of them and hit delete. But are we setting up for something like that here? It's what the lifer would call his twisted sister model here, right? Where you kind of are projecting. For anybody who is maybe somewhat new to the lifer strategies and stuff, if you don't really understand why you project or how to project, then you're not going to get a lot of stuff sometimes, right? You're not going to get why we draw these lines, because we're projecting that price is going to do kind of, if it's bullish, it's going to do one of two things. You're going to get this much sharper falling wedge, or you're going to get a nice healthy bull flag. And you have your measured move. I'm not sure why I got rid of the measured move. And you would move this measured move depending on which one of these plays out, right? And it's where candles close. Like, why don't we draw this one down here? Because we're using candle bodies, and this is a daily chart, right? So anyways, that's kind of what you're looking at. If we're staying bullish and we're going to move up, bull trend, kind of get out of this bearishness for a season, for a while locally, you could go up to 34 cents if we have like a normal sideways action bear flag. If you get more of the falling wedge, then you're looking at more like 26.5 cents. All right, there's a little bit of TA for you, a little bit of explanation. And espresso looks pretty good. Hasn't had like a major pullback. I would say really this right here was a pretty significant pullback for espresso. Probably a great time to get in. You could pull fibs, you could do all kinds of things. Let's go to a 4-hour chart. I'm spending a little bit of time because espresso looks pretty good, to be honest with you. Now I do need to get rid of all these lines, or when I open up the fibs, it's going to really get chaotic here. You're really going to wonder what the heck is going on. So we switch to a 4-hour chart, right? And let's grab our fib, and I pull it from the impulse, right? And you're very close to your 786 retracement. Now, a lot of people love your golden pocket. Golden pocket, I'm pretty sure, is between like what, the 618 and the 0.5 and the 618, I think, is golden pocket. I'm not exactly sure what is exactly the golden pocket because I don't really trade the golden pocket. I like a deeper retracement, right? So I'll put a buy order sometimes here at the 618, and then of course I would put it even down at like the 786, and you almost would have got bought here. I would not be surprised if you do, eventually kind of mess around and then come down into that before getting out of here. Anyways, those are just my thoughts on espresso. None of it ever financial advice. Shout out to Blues Guy showing off those custom emojis. Yes, I did make those emojis. I've had to explain them quite a bit. At least the logo is pretty self-forward. The guy who's doing like, the put your hand, I can't really do it. I got a microphone in front of me like this. That's like a respect thing. It's like a bow. It's like a bowing emoji. And the other one's like palm to face, right? Like you're trying to, I thought it was a good one because you're trying to explain things to people, trying to raise people's crypto's IQ, and sometimes they just don't get it. Like the guy who came in here the other day and he's trying to understand, and he seemed genuine. He was trying to understand why crypto has value, and that palm to face emoji would have been perfect, right? Just why can't you understand that the value is there, is given to it through people's want for it, right? And I think he was trying to argue that value is not connected with scarcity, I think he was saying, or demand. I don't know, but that doesn't make sense to me the way that I understand it. Anyways, we're running through here. We got Rainbow. Rainbow is a new wallet. This was my case about Rainbow, and I don't know anything about it, all right? I only know what it is. I haven't used it or anything, but we have so many wallets. And we even have MetaMask, which is really good for a lot across multiple different chains, right? So why would I want Rainbow? That's the question. They're going to have to go hard on the marketing to get people to be like, I want to download this wallet and use it. Let's go straight to their website so I can kind of, make you understand what I'm saying here. It looks like a wallet. They have a plugin for browser, for desktop. Maybe if you come in, maybe if they do really good, they stick around, they're relevant and new, integrated with a lot of projects. People come into the space who are new and they need a wallet. Maybe people would download Rainbow. Do they have high yield? Do they have the ability to stake or enter vaults or something directly in their wallet? Like, what can it do that my average wallet can't do, that my MetaMask can't do, that my Soulflare can't do? That should be like first and foremost the billboard for this project, because otherwise I have, 10, probably more than 10 different wallets, hot wallets that is. So I think it's cool, but I don't know why I would want to download it. And I just want to point that out, where it's like, this could not even wind up doing that well because they haven't put a clear use case for it, right? Now, if they came in and they said, well, we have AI in the background doing a bunch of crazy stuff, and that's why we're better. We have features, right? Utility that other projects, other wallets don't have. People would go download it and check it out, right? Stuff like that. They got prediction markets built into the wallet. Okay, that would be cool. Decentralized prediction markets built directly into the wallet. I wouldn't be surprised if, I think I actually have seen that on Soulflare. So I think people have already done that, right? But you get my point. Like, they need to have something that makes me want to use it. Only a 3.8 million market cap, not very strong. It's been as high as 17.5, so it's fallen a lot. It's done nothing but fall on the day it came out, which was the 5th of February 2026, and it's just been kind of trending down. Maybe if, you could give it a little bit of like it's cupping or something like that. It's going to do one of these in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. If you really believe in the project, maybe this is a good bottom. Regardless, that's Rainbow. Just want to touch on it, make sure everybody knows what it is. Maybe it'll be around for a while, maybe it won't. Plasma, all about them stablecoin. Zama, we've been talking about Zama like a month before they ever generated their token. Been monitoring them generating their token, or how it's gone since the token launched. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it was very high. It went from like 200 million 24-hour trading volume to like 300 and something, 350, then like almost 400 million, and then it's just dropped out from there, and it's only at like 28.2 million in 24-hour trading volume. And things like INSO are up to like 443 million. So you can see people are rotating and they've moved away from Zama. Punch is a monkey in a zoo somewhere, or in some kind of zoo-like setting, and it's just a meme-based token. Somebody ran and made this token. Yeah, that's right. They don't want me to go there. And it's probably a scam, guys. Let's be honest. It's just a random meme coin about a monkey who has a plushie made, that looks like a monkey, and he carries it around or something. I don't know. I haven't dug that much into it. Kind of reminds me of the whole hippo thing, right? Everybody was all about the hippo in the zoo. I don't have a problem with it, but charity coins and coins that really pull at your heartstrings, most of the time are always scams, even if they give a small percentage away. You ever go, I'm sure you have, all right, you go to a store and they ask you if you want to donate. Well, if you're ever real curious, actually look or ask them what the percentage of money that they collect is going to the charity. I've seen it as low as 2%. So you're telling me you're collecting money from random people for charity, and then you keep 98% of that money, and you give 2% away to whatever charity, right? It could be burn victims, it could be whatever. And you're keeping 98% of it? What a scam. And then they think that, oh, well, we are giving money away, so that makes us legitimate. No, you're a scam. That's my feeling there. Celestia, I haven't heard talked about in a while. Price is 34 cents. Boy, I am glad I sold my TIA when I did. I bought it like $3 or $4. It ran up to 19, 20 bucks. Of course, I wasn't smart enough to sell it then. Too busy and distracted all the time to be locked in like I am now. And yeah, basically it's now at 34 cents. That's crazy. I think I sold it at like $6, $7. So I did make a profit on it, right? MemeX Finance, Barachain, Monad, nothing crazy. I think I originally put like $100 in TIA, so it was nothing crazy. All right, so we went over what's trending there. Let's move along to something else. Back to the top gainers, top losers of the day. So we got SafeBit. Power Protocol looking strong right now. Power Protocol has already done quite a bit of pumping over the last couple of days. So maybe look for a pullback or something. I personally wouldn't want to try to buy it right now. 31.6 million in volume. Doesn't give you the market cap, it gives you the volume. Okay. I would like the market cap kind of over the volume here. But there's a SafeBit. I don't know what that is. Circle Internet Group. We know what Circle is. Ondo tokenized stocks. Very interesting. Okay, we know Ondo is all into the tokenization, real world asset. Interesting, you haven't really heard a lot of people talking about real world assets lately, and I think that's almost suspiciously quiet because you know the big institutions and Wall Street and banks and stuff, like that's one of the biggest use cases for blockchain technology and stuff is the tokenized stuff, and it's kind of one of the things you're not hearing anything about. There could be something to that, but of course that is pure speculation. All right, so then we got Circle X stock. I don't know if that's like in the same vein here. It is up about the same. Polkadot, Supergroup. Let's see who the top loser of the day is. AI Rig Complex. We saw that it had that big fall. Punch has been trending for several days. It kind of has fallen down as well. Zono. I don't know if Zono ever did well. It came out. People were bullish on it. I think I bought $20 worth of it on like MEXC or something. And then it never did good ever. My $20 was worth like $1. And I think I don't even know. I think I just forgot about it. I think they delisted it, honestly, I think is what happened. If you use MEXC but you don't get on there a lot, look to see if some of the coins you own have been delisted. You might want to just swap them for whatever the heck they're worth at the moment. All right. So where do we want to go from here? We've done... Oh, we want to go to the talking points of the day, right? We want to continue to raise that crypto IQ. Shout out to anybody who's still here. Throw something in the chat. Let me know that you're still listening. Let me know that you're still, wanting to raise your crypto IQ. So crypto systems are incentive systems. Blockchain coordinates participation without centralized authority. Incentives replace centralized control by aligning behaviors with network goals. Token design determines how participants act. Number 2, bootstrapping participation. Early networks must attract users, right? It's not optional. You must attract some users. Validators, liquidity providers, and developers. Tokens provide rewards that encourage initial participation before organic demands exist. Incentives create early adoption. Emissions as growth tools. Token emissions distribute supply to participants performing desired action. So you're doing something, you're getting some kind of, token emission. Emissions, why is this image thing up? Emissions can secure networks, attract liquidity, encourage usage, and fund ecosystems. They accelerate growth phases, very much how people speculate on airdrops. They get involved with test nets. That can be a very lucrative thing. That's why we're trying to do it for the Robinhood blockchain that they're going to be launching. So the risk of emissions dependence. If participants depend primarily on rewards rather than intrinsic value, demand collapses when incentives decline. Unsustainable emissions weaken long-term value. Positive feedback loops. Well-designed systems create loops where participation increases utility, utility increases demand, demand increases value, and value attracts more participation. These loops grow ecosystems, right? Negative incentives loops, the opposite. Poor design can produce extraction over contribution, short-term farming, capital cycles without use, and inflation pressure. These loops destroy value. Aligning participation rules. Healthy token systems align incentives across users, developers, validators, liquidity providers, and governance participants. Alignment stabilizes a network. Evolution of incentive models. Early crypto relied heavily on emissions. Newer systems increasingly focus on real revenue, fee sharing, sustainable rewards, utility-driven demands. Design is maturing. Core insight here. Crypto value can be engineered, but only when incentives create lasting behaviors and not temporary extraction, right? So if they're temporary and people just extract all the value, they don't have long-term staying power. Now let me check on my Chainer's farm here. Oh, we got a monthly reward. No, we didn't. I don't know why it says we did, but we didn't. All right, let's go to the farm. Anybody out there? Anybody still with me? Am I just talking to myself out here in the internet? All right, so this is Chainer's, link in the description. I have absolutely no idea if they really give me anything for you clicking on the link. It's more of just a shortcut for you to get there. And you get a little farm, right? A lot of farming, yield, stuff like that you see all the time. They tell you they gamify it, but they never do. These people really did gamify the yield. And you can get upgrades, you can get different animals and stuff, but overall, they produce, produce, whatever you do, they give you something, right? Some of it's kind of random. Like you feed the reindeer, he gives you like sugar cookies, right? So as you can see, I've got like 7 sweet potatoes, 1 marigold, 33 chili peppers, and 5 watermelon. And I can choose CFB, which is an in-game currency, Polmatic, and BNB. So what I really like about this is that, one, we talked about value and not giving away too much value, right? So they do have something going on here that I would come back and mess with even if they weren't giving me a ton of rewards, because I am slowly earning some BNB. So we put everything in there and we click sell for BNB, and it's like a pool that closes every 3 hours. There's a certain amount of, quote unquote, things that they're giving away, rewards, and depending on how many people enter it and how much stuff you put in depends on how much reward you get, right? Well, if I drop down, you can see how much we've gotten so far. 0.0007 BNB. Remember, BNB is like $620 or something. And so if you get $1, it's going to have a lot of zeros in front of it. But either way, I like it because they're not throwing crazy rewards at you. And now a lot of people would say, like, that's why I don't like it. I don't want to do any of this stuff unless they're paying me $20, $30 a day. Well, if they do that, they'll give away all the value before enough people can come in and participate. And like we've talked about, the whole topic of the last couple of days, they will give away too much value and it will crush the long-term longevity of the project. And I want to see them succeed. Now, you can come in here to their market. You can buy like a full-on, pack for like $50, but then they have all kinds of different things. You can buy some of the things in USDT, but some of them you can buy in their in-game currency that you can actually earn. That's what I was trying to say. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's kind of just a game. They have a lot of stuff coming. You can come over here. They have this Atom Caster, just gives you a random item for your farm. We'll go ahead and toggle it. You can get a really rare item. You can get just like a regular item. All of them you kind of use here. They gave me $2, right? I'll take it. 2 CFB. So it's not too hard to get some money in the game. And then this one right here is called Chainer's Dream. It's just a little click and shoot. If you get 1,000 points, you can get much more than 1,000 points, but you don't really get something better, right, for having more points. So I usually play this. I get to 1,000. Again, we are transitioning into the underground hangout part of the night. So where are all my undergrounders at? it's a very simple point and click game. The more I play it, it's one of those things that only takes me about 2-3 minutes really to get to 1,000 here, and I almost always get the NFT and some kind of something for the farm, which means more earning, so I like it. And it's just kind of like a moment where I'll stop whatever I'm working on and just de-stress for like 2-3 seconds, point and click. I don't know. I don't mind it. I'm not going to act like it's like the funnest game ever, because it's not. I would like to see him upgrade it into maybe something, but just the point and click perspective of it, it's not bad. You like collect these little french fries. It's better than having nothing, right? Like, you could really you know, kind of over analyze or over criticize this game and what they have going on with some of this stuff, but hey, they're doing something. It's better than nothing, and there's a reward behind it that could really, you know, stack up for your farm over time. The more things you have, the more ability you have to earn into the future. I don't know, maybe if I'm at it for a while, then I could get a farm that's built up enough to actually earn maybe a couple of dollars a day. That would be pretty solid. I don't actually know what I'm earning on a daily basis. It's probably like, you know, 20 cents or 5 cents or something in that ballpark. And that's the risk reward that a lot of people don't want to deal with. One thing I do want to talk about is the whole lucky syndrome, right? People always telling you that you're lucky in crypto if you made some money, you know. A lot of times you spent a lot of time messing with different things and farming different things, maybe airdrops, maybe this, that, or the other, and a lot of times you were not handsomely rewarded for any of it. And then one time you actually hit one and you get, you know, rewarded in some manner. But like NW says, a lot of the stuff, he's earned 6,000, 3,000, you know, different price numbers for airdrops, but almost all of them he spent at least a year or more airdropping with no security, with no guarantee that like you were for sure going to get something out of it, right? And so it's all high risk, high reward type stuff, and some people just don't have the ability to remember constantly, or they don't think it's worth it, so they don't put the effort in to do it, like all of those different type of things. And that's just part of the game here in the world of crypto. I just feel like I need to say that sometimes, because people, you know, act like people get lucky, and it's like, man, those people usually spent a lot of time just farming something and having no idea if it was ever really going to pay off and be worth the time and energy that they put in. I'm over 1,000 now on this, so I don't really care if I get hit and killed. There we go. All right, let's collect our NFT here. What did I get? I got some bamboo. Now, you get your different seeds, right? And then you can upgrade them. This one has a little triangle here, which means it's like a one-time use. So you can upgrade them, but there's still a one-time use, where you have other things that are not a one-time use, right? Which you can upgrade and plant and use over and over again. All right, we have all kinds of different games that we're looking at. One thing I really want to do is I had kind of given up a little bit on a particular game, this Mattel.fun, and I want to bring it back up, because one thing when NW was talking about how, you know, he did stuff for years before he got airdrops and stuff, we've been messing with Mattel, and we did quite a bit of quote-unquote, you know, playing it, hopefully farming some airdrop, getting the points, right? That why give up now when it's just a simple game that I can play, you know, a round of on the stream at the end of the stream while we're hanging out and we're chilling. Might as well keep it going and see if we ever get anything out of it. Now, it'll take a little bit of a back burner. I was never pushing it, but, you know, I'm not going to push it hardcore or anything like that. And who knows? I haven't played it in a little while. Maybe I'll be terrible at it now. You just kill the enemies, collect the rewards. They finally look like they changed it out of the Christmas theme, which is nice because the Christmas theme kind of went on for way too long. All right, what do we want? Recover health over time, small grenades. Let's go with damage reduction. It seems like the most useful. You are kind of at the mercy of whatever upgrades they offer you. Oh, we got the magnet. That's a helpful item, but it's not helpful right now because it picks up all the gems or XP that's on the map. Doesn't really do much if you don't have a lot of gems on the map yet. Need to increase speed. Need to get more of these projectiles, more of these little hats. Everybody says they look like trash bags. I think that's hilarious. Supposed to be a Solana hat. Now, why they went with a Solana hat, no idea. Kind of a lack of genius or a lack of creativity, if you ask me. But whatever, I'm here for it. Hopefully they airdrop something for us at some point. And when you don't get enough power-ups right away, you really are not able to keep up with the monsters that are coming out and attacking you, and they get stronger and stronger, and I'm just not getting the upgrades. So we're going to use our little magnet to bring some more stuff in because we need more projectiles. See, this is where you get caught. Like, I can get a machete, recover health over time, and a boomerang. I guess recover health over time is the best. One that's like health steal, where every time you hit an opponent, you have a chance of stealing some of their health. That's really the better one here. But it's hard for me to collect many tokens here. Oh, man. Really don't want to die at this point in the game. I do have a health potion. Even with 3 projectiles, like I'm not really getting the ability to take these guys out and collect some XP. And we'll keep messing with this. We'll see what happens. I mean, I might be severely disappointed after a year or so of messing with it. Hopefully they don't make us wait that long. The boss is here now, and I definitely did not get enough upgrades. So that is problematic here. Can I get through all this stuff and get some upgrades? Alright, yeah, let's increase damage by 50%. That would be helpful for sure. Get into some of this XP. Watch out for the boss. I really need a speed upgrade. That would be very useful. Yep, I knew he was gonna. Yeah, and I'm dead. Yeah, that's a big part of why, honestly, I don't think this game's all that great. But I'll play a round of it every day, and then we'll go from there. Let's refresh this, see if we got any more points towards our potential airdrop. I really need to play at least one more round of it. All right, and then we got our Fogo Fisher. He's constantly fishing, earning us these unprocessed fish. We're up to 111,000. Total's 124, but of course they're going to tax us a little bit, 10% fee. And the longer you hold this, the more you earn a yield from it. We're waiting for the market to go back up and the price of this to go back up. Now, you can actually go somewhere and swap for these fish token for like whatever you want, you know, USDT or whatever. So they do have a value, but of course, a small project like this, it's going to fall in price when the whole market falls in price, right? All right, and then we got Panzer Dogs. How's everybody doing out there? I haven't heard anybody say a peep in a while. Are you sleeping, Melissa? 50x leverage, says Camsta. All right, Camsta's out there. Shout out to everybody who's here. It is a Wednesday night stream. And we're continuing to grind through this bear market, this bear trend. Crypto will come back. There will be a lot of people on the stream at some point comparatively to what we normally get, right? I'm not talking hundreds of thousands or even thousands, but, you know, we'll have more like 30, 40, 50 people here versus 10 or 15 people here. And it'll feel a whole lot more fun. But if I don't grind through some of these slow times, we'll never get to experience that, or I'll never get to experience that. It's easy for the people watching, right? Because you can just go to another channel at some point. Oh man, got him. First blood. Now I could probably sit here and play Panzer Dog forever. If anybody wants in on the next round, just let me know. I must be lagging because I can't seem to hit anybody. Grab this health. So shout out to all my people who are hanging in there when the market is what the market is right now, and we're just taking it day by day. A lot of you guys are trying to trade and get something out of it without losing too much. How did I pick up the rocket but then never got to shoot it? What happened there? I really would love to see this project integrate and update. I don't know what they're waiting for. The game's not that complicated, like the game is rather simple. So I don't know what they're waiting for to upgrade and give us some new stuff. Hopefully when they do, they give us a lot of new stuff. Wow, I can't hit anybody right now. It's crazy. Got him. All right, 2 more kills. Wasted that. I'm rather like deadly accurate, or I can't hit nobody. And there's like no in between there at all. All right. 10-2. Good round, good round. All right, now we probably need to do our stuff for airdrop. Let's go ahead and claim some tokens from the faucet. Now this is for the Robin Hood airdrop. Please sign in with Google. All right, let's do that. All right, so send tokens. All right, so we got some tokens. Testnet tokens, right? They're not actual tokens. You can't go spend them places. I've heard some people who are very new in the space get all excited about faucets. If you got a faucet and it's doing something, it better be giving you real tokens on a platform that is in mainnet and not testnet. And all of this stuff is available in our airdrop section. You'll see it says Robinhood Testnet. Now, you really just want transactions for as far as farming, engagement for an airdrop. I'm not a super pro at it. I'm pretty new. Definitely very new to airdrops. I've only ever really been involved with Swee's Testnet, and I didn't really get anything for it. So you just come over here, you hit GM. It's just a transaction so that it looks like you've been doing something. You have this on-chain GM. GM usually standing for good morning. So we do that, and then we're going to deploy a smart contract. And these are kind of like just the daily things you do, right? And that's kind of that right now until they have more projects and stuff come out that we can really interact with, right? We can't really do much else for this project. And let's see, how long have we been live? Been live about an hour and a half. Feels like a good stream. Does feel like a Wednesday. I appreciate anybody who's been here. I hope that you learned something useful about the value in crypto. I'm going to go ahead and bounce out of here. We are just continuing to do our thing through the bear trend, through the bear market, whatever you want to call it. and we can't stop, won't stop. We're not giving up. We're not going anywhere. But the fun will return when the market pumps, right? People will be a lot more interested in raising their crypto IQ at that point than they might be right now. A lot of people down and out. A lot of people trying to convince their friends and family that they're not a complete fool for believing in that magic internet money, right? And it'll swing back our way, and it'll swing back the other way. It'll go back and forth probably for the rest of eternity, but more and more people's awareness will come to the value of cryptocurrency, in my opinion. Shout out to all my undergrounders. Thank you for being here. Stay underground. Stay crypto. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be moving through the series. We're talking about value. We've talked about a lot of things. I hope you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. Till next time, I'll see you in the Discord. Crypto Ron out.